now that it's taken me almost 15 minutes to figure out why my recording wasn't working, here we are. So, what I want to talk about is the tomb. Now, I don't think I know everything about it yet. I've seen some of the gameplay, and I don't even think the full gameplay trailer's out yet, but it's worth talking about regardless. And forgive me for being a little bit quiet, it's just real late while I'm recording this, so I'm trying to be respectful. Consider what they're giving us here, right? So we have the Ice Staff, the second remastered Wonder Weapon, and the last 4 maps. I kind of like that they're only bringing back one staff. I would hate to find out in like a year that like, oh yeah, we wanted to bring back all 4 staffs, but we just didn't have time. Well, take the time, because I'd rather a better map with more content than just a rushed map. Death Perception is a reused perk, which frankly I don't think we're getting any new perks in this game other than Melee Macchiato. What you had in Cold War is probably what you're going to end up getting in this game, and they're sort of just drip feeding us those, which is fine, you know, especially with the augment system. It makes sense. They're probably still tweaking things, and if you fully pimped out all your perks right when the game came out, you have pretty much nothing to grind for. So I don't mind the drip feeding perks. Point of note that it's something that's not new, and then they're reusing again amalgams and bringing back doppelgasts and bringing back mimics, which the mimics are essentially amalgam 1.0. They do the exact same thing. I'm gonna I felt like this when I earned my jump wings. They do the exact same thing. They both grab you, bite you, throw you back out. The mimic's probably weaker, like easier to kill, and they jump scare you. So like, sure, they're doing something different, on like a very surface level sense, but you're getting the same product. So we're gonna basically just have double the amalgams and then doppelgasts again. So effectively, in my opinion, unless they switch the way the mimic works, there's no new like mini boss. I might have to turn off this rage inducer. It's kind of irritating me. It's like they're just too fast, bro. Like, chill a little bit. So reused Wonder Weapon, reused perks, reused bosses. You know, I saw somebody talk about this on Twitter. They gave 2 examples. I can't remember one of them, but one of them was Dryzendracht. And they said that map was basically a rehash of like maps prior, and people love it. Which I think is maybe not disingenuous, but inaccurate. Cause yes, the Panzer returned, but they gave him different weapons, so he's effectively a new boss with the same skin, right? However, I do find the Mimic and the Amalgam to be even more similar than the 2 Panzers we've had. And the bows, yes, reuse the 4 Wonder Weapon idea, but they're all unique. Like, nobody's saying the swords are a ripoff of the staves. Even, I guess they reused Hellhounds, or like a Cerberus idea, but with the dragons. Okay, I kind of want to see that come back, you know? Like, I wouldn't mind if this map used that, but I guess the point with rebuttaling the DE argument, and there's some other maps that you could leverage that criticism against, but the point with rebuttaling that is these maps reuse systems and concepts, not things in the way Black Ops 6 is doing it. If they bring in the Ice Staff and it's like, oh, it's actually completely different, it's pulled over, but instead of, you know, instead of just shooting, or like, yeah, okay, so if they bring it back and it's like, maybe it starts base level and then you upgrade it so that everybody can get that progression, but then there's a super hard way to upgrade it that wasn't on Origins, which is Dark Ether infused because storyline, I don't necessarily like there being a better staff than what we already had, but I think if there's a new version similar to what they did with the Magma Gat, I think that would be very cool. I don't know, I'm just really concerned for Black Ops 6. There is a chance that they drop the tomb, and it plays better than any map since Black Ops 3. It could be the one that they were holding on to all this time. But Black Ops 6, they're doing a great job at sort of recapturing, or let me put it this way, they did a great job so far at recapturing the hype of zombies. Because, like, oh, 2 maps on launch, I felt like the Liberty Falls hate was forced. People were just looking for something to hate. So, like, I really was excited to have 2 maps on launch because I actually understood the purpose of having the 2 different maps, and I've loved both of them. And Citadel coming out so, like, before 2025 was like, wow, you know, when has that ever happened at Zombies? We got 3 maps on launch, and we're about to have as many maps on this one game as Cold War did in its entire life cycle. Like, that's hype, bro. I'm so excited. But I feel like now that the New Year's ticked over, people are sort of starting to worry about this game's longevity. Because sure, maybe we have 8 maps by the end of this game's life cycle, like Black Ops 4, but if none of them are special, like Cold War maps, I'm not going to come back. And frankly, I think there's a lot more replayability. I can see myself coming back to this game personally for years to come, similar to a Black Ops 3, because it is the Black Ops 1 of this new Zombies era, in my opinion. But it's just, I don't think the problem with Cold War is that there was only 4 maps, and I think people said that's what the problem was. I think the problem is the maps aren't that good. But then I have friends that are also like, it's too easy, and I agree. So I don't even know if I like the game. I just think I like Zombies, bro, and I think I'm just happy with what they give me. And it's sort of leading me into the camp of people that are disillusioned with Zombies, and I don't want to be there. But I'm very glad there's no steps in this game so far, I don't think, that make me look up a guide. I think you can do everything on every map. I might die right here. Everything on every map strictly through memorization. I just learned that the amalgams are weak to lightning or whatever, and that just made the lightning incantation on par with the light incantation for me. I think that's one of the coolest things about gaming is stuff like that. So there's a very, very fine balance between, like, shoot, I need a guide, and like, oh, this is too easy. You know what I mean? And I think Citadel is a little bit on the too easy mark. And I guess it's so casuals can do it as well. But the swords are just the staff upgrades without the real building process. So they seem a little too easy versus the bow or the staffs, which is where you build them and then you do the extra part. So I don't know. And then the bows are definitely difficult. I've just been saying a stream of consciousness for like half an hour now. But I guess my point is just, I want to see something new. But I wanted to just brainstorm some ideas. And most of these will be things that I've already sort of been in Zombies and shouldn't be too hard for this team to do. I say as somebody who doesn't know what their working conditions look like, let's sort of focus on the tomb, right? Let's look at World at War. Something I don't like about Black Ops 6 is there's no power switch. And I think that is a huge blunder. So think of Feruct, where the map is split until you turn on power. I think that'd be a phenomenal thing to bring back for the tomb. They probably won't because casuals, and you're making it significantly harder by splitting them up. But I think there's potential there to spawn like on either side of the tomb and have to work your way down. But it doesn't make sense for the story. Why would they be split like that? Dude, I don't care. Give me something cool. And you could do something like... I know Kevin Drew loves his circles. I think every single map in this game so far has just been a bunch of circles. Derice has a really cool map layout that hasn't been done in a while, I don't think, where you go off into these 3 directions to open Pack-a-Punch. And I think making Pack-a-Punch harder to open would actually be phenomenal for the game, because players would build up points, and then they'd have to ask themselves, do I want to keep saving, or do I want to get... Like, do I want to keep saving for Pack-a-Punch, or do I want to get perks early? And I feel like that's a big problem with Black Ops 6, is players don't really have to make any choices, because once they get points, they need to use them to keep going. But I feel like letting players build up those points, at least in those early rounds, would make a map feel completely different. What was Black Ops 1 really cool for? Well, I think of George Romero and The Astronaut. People hated both of them, but now kind of love George Romero. And there's also the Pentagon Thief, which was never done again. And Shangri-La had 2 unique I guess not mini bosses, special enemies, which has never been done before, ever since. Again, whatever that sentence was, it probably wasn't real English. Let's throw in a ghost in the tomb. I don't know, I'm thinking of like catacombs in a way here, you know? And let's just assume it's down there. And you can stay up on the top, la-di-da-di-da, and have fun. But if you want to go Pack-a-Punch, or go get most of your perks, you're gonna have to, you know, brave the scary ghost. And like, it can genuinely be scary, where like you might have signs that it's near you before it's on you. And it shouldn't be... You can reuse some assets and whatnot, like what's the floating skull guy from Mauer der Toten? I don't want you to reuse him, but like his floating animation's fine. Like, be clever with it. You could even bring back the witch from Buried, and I would appreciate that more than reusing that sucker. Maybe it touches you and teleports you. That would be super cool. Sort of, it makes me think of the Leviathan from Subnautica, where it's like, it doesn't really kill you, it just screws you over. That would be super, super unique for modern COD zombies. If you gotta go down there to get good stuff, but it just you keep running into it, because it's either you gotta get through the horde or you gotta get through the ghost. That's a challenge that doesn't hurt casuals, because it doesn't punish them really, it challenges them. I think that'd be really, 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 really cool. Like, oh my god, I think that would literally, just adding that would make the tomb probably the coolest map since D Machine. No lie. Or the spider boss fight from Zetsubo. Do something, or like, think of the spiders from Zetsubo. Have them web up the tunnels. Like, it can be a variation of the parasites, or not the parasites, whatever these little creepy crawly guys I'm shooting at are called. Be a variation of those guys, right? Okay. The Nova 6 crawlers. I don't think there's a variation of them that people like, but they pop up a lot, and they're almost always different. On Moon, they teleport. That freaking sucks. I hate getting caught by one of those guys, but it makes Moon unique. And think of the jumping jacks. I don't mind those, and also you get a free perk if you get 100% accuracy. That's so cool. Especially with melee weapons, that'd be easier than ever. So just make a variation of a existing enemy that can web players to slow them down, or web up a tunnel, or web up perks, and players gotta free their perks by buying it again. Which Sucks in the modern way the points works, but that's what you've done to yourself. What can you learn from Black Ops 2? Well, I would say unique navigation systems. Because what do we have nowadays? Portals? If that? I guess the boats were cool on Terminus. I think, that sets that map apart from anything ever made in zombies. Except for maybe Warzone Zombies. I didn't play that. But add the geysers back from Shinonuma. You know what I mean? That's a reuse of something old that could be done really, really cool. Or the Wonder Spheres, and turn them into Wonder Spheres, but make them look like geysers. The fact you gotta use the tunnel and the cannon for the incantations, beautiful. Honestly, love that. Because that's the only time I use them, because I'm always hurt for points. So why would I spend the points to use those? You know what I mean? It should be more like the Shangri-La thing, which is free. The waterfall, I think. Like, add something closer to that. And you get to Black Ops 3, it fires on all cylinders. And you can tell Black Ops 6 is, in its DNA, it's Black Ops 3 too. As much as it is Cold War 2. So, I don't know. I guess they're doing a good job. They're just not giving you options like they did in that game. You're forced to... So I guess that's the thing, is... Like, these side quests are cool, but... Like, there's... I don't think there's any plunger in Black Ops 6, like there is on Horizon Rock. I can't upgrade my little armies. The fact that tacticals and whatnot have been so... systemized... You can't really make a system to change that. But like, I also never run anything other than stims and combat axes in this game. So maybe it's probably hard for them to get away with these days, but add like... I guess no, they did incantations. So like, those are cool, but I don't see those as like a side thing. Those are part of the main quest. So I would say just add more things. Have a trap that can't be activated unless I build it. And it's not in the main quest, which I think that's a phenomenal thing to do with your main quest, is have everything in the map be used, because that's, especially with the director's mode, it's essentially a guide to the map, which, if you're trying to appeal to casuals, is the most intelligent way to use a main quest. Love that. But just have a few things to encourage hardcore players who love that map a little harder than the others. A trap that I need to build, make it like freaking good, like it's in a spot where I get like a 30-second freedom where nothing can get through it, similar to like the Kino Pack-a-Punch. I think that would be sick and really, really rewarding, because I have to pause and I have 15 minutes. And I know they're adding multiplayer pause. What if I already paused earlier in the game and I only have 3 minutes left on my... Like, look, I have a minute left. I tried to figure out how to get this video to record because it wasn't working. So if I had to go take a leak, I'm screwed. I gotta save and exit. But if you could give me that 30 seconds of freedom because I built this trap that I otherwise would never have done. Like, I like that I didn't know that the electric incantation wiped amalgams. Like, stuff like that is really, really important for maps. Because I think that now makes Citadel a lot cooler, because it gives me reason to use more incantations than just the one. Black Ops 4, I don't know if you want to learn anything from Black Ops 4. That's kind of like a what not to do list. Then you're sort of back, you know what I mean? We're here, we're back in 2025, but there's so much that is just looking at old things and finding a way to reuse them. Like, those assets gotta be in there somewhere, even if they just gotta be upscaled a little. The Aetherella thing on this map, that is phenomenal. And I've only ever done it, I tried to do it twice and I failed the second time because I got one of them stuck somewhere that I couldn't get. But that's a beautiful side Easter egg, and I don't think wow, I'm getting destroyed. I don't think Terminus has anything like that, and I definitely don't think Citadel does. And not every, like, there's the Rat King thing. That's cool. Love that. But I've never done it. There's the free PhD thing. Love that. But I've never done it. I just won't use explosive weapons on that map, which is what makes it interesting, I guess, because I don't have PhD. But then I'm using a sword, so like, why would I need PhD? And I love that it's there, and it shows that they're doing these things that they find fun. But the golden spork was also very fun, but very, very good. I like the Etherella thing. I think people complain a lot about these things coming back, like the ice staff and the mimics and the amalgams, and I thought about it, and that stuff does suck. I wish they were making new things, but I don't think those things suck in the way that people think they do. I think it's that the systems are too repetitive and the maps are all a little too samey. It's not that people don't want the ice staff, because the ice staff can feel unique, but you could put the ice staff on any of the maps in this game, and it would probably play exactly the same. But I don't think the zombies team fully grasps difficulty anymore. That makes all the maps feel the samey, and I have an idea for another video that's based on that. So subscribe. It'll be more scripted than this. This is just a stream of consciousness, so please don't hold this against me. But the zombies team kind of knows two ways to make difficulty right now, and it's give it more health or make it faster, and neither of those are fun. I don't want bullet sponge enemies or make it fast, which isn't fun, because then I gotta attack sprint the entire game, and I can. I don't want to. But think of this. What if there was a special wonder weapon that probably wasn't necessarily the main wonder weapon, right? It's like you have the main wonder weapon, and then you have this little side one, and it can be like a melee weapon or whatever, something cute. But when you use it, oh yes, okay, there's actually an example of this. Think of Nosferatu from Dead of Night, or whatever the map's called, Dead of the Night. But Nosferatu, right? You get the little stake shooter and Shadow Claw, which is a reused asset, and then the Nosferatu spawns, which is essentially already an enemy on the map, just scaled up. And those enemies suck. But for the map in Black Ops 4, it makes that map unique. So add something like that, like have the ice staff on the tomb, but then do like the Hand of Gaia is also on there, and it's fully upgraded. But when you pick it up, it spawns the big dude, the Giganese. Or frick, have it spawn a Blight Father, dude. Like, I don't care, go all out. And sometimes when I play the map, I'll get the Hand of Gaia because somebody else wants the ice staff, or just because it might be really, really strong and fun, and make it fun. That's the key part. But now there will be a Blight Father that spawns every single round, just one every round when you pull out the Hand of Gaia. So not every round regardless, but when you pull out the Hand of Gaia, once per round, a Blight Father will spawn. And don't make it busted and broken, just make it tough. And he probably, let's say that he can lock things down like he can on Black Ops 4, but don't make me pay for it, because I already don't have points to spend on this game, but like, make it so I have to melee the thing a few times to break it open again, and that'll be annoying as hell, right? Probably make the map worse if he was there all the time, but it's just when you grab that weapon. And the only reason you would do it is because it's actually freaking fun to use, so you're willing to make it a little bit harder in exchange for something a little more fun. And I genuinely think that idea would have people, right? So I'd say add the ghost, add the geysers, and add the Hand of Gaia with the Blightfather penalty, and you genuinely have a potential top 5 map of all time. And I don't know what the Tomb's gonna play like. It might suck, but it would be quite honestly probably the people's favorite map since Black Ops 4 or 3 or 4, like probably since Ancient Evil, because everybody compares, Citadel came out and nobody said this is the best map since Mauer or Toten. They said it's the best map since Ancient Evil. So I feel like if you really utilized some old ideas, then it adds a challenge, and it's like that's the problem. Is because like what do I it all comes down to the points, and people are defending the point system. I kind of like it, but like that's the real problem is I can't spend my points on anything in this game. But if I have 2 wonder weapons to pick from, and one of them's just cool and has a decently long upgrade process, but the other one's a little bit easier, what comes with a Blightfather? Oh my god. I cannot stress how much I think people would like that, bro. Let me know. Maybe that's the worst idea you've ever heard, but it could also possibly be the best. Like, damn, like that might be a top 5 map. Like, sitting here thinking of those, the Ghost and the Hand of Gaia coming back, like, genuinely, they'd be putting it next to Gorod, and that's a decent honor, because Gorod's got problems, but it's iconic. So it's just like, dude, but try something. And if you swing and you miss, at least I can appreciate the swing. But let me know. Maybe I'm fully wrong. Like this video if you want more content like this. Subscribe if you want different content. Go watch. I've got a Liberty Falls with randoms playthrough with Alex. And I've got a guide to the ray gun up. And those 2 videos I think are both really, really good. They performed really well for my channel. And I think you'd enjoy at least one of them. So whichever one sounds better, gameplay or video essay, tier list. Pick one. I'll probably throw them both up here. Thanks for watching, and deuces.